network, a startup incubator, but he also hosts this really cool show on Sundays, so he's going to tell us all about it. Please welcome Zach Miller.
Thank you guys for having me today. How many of you guys, let's answer your question first. How many of you guys have ever heard of me? Raise your hand. Okay, so not everyone, so you're wrong. How many of you guys have watched Hampton Roads Business Weekly? Raise your hands. How many of you have not? Raise your hands. Okay. Why? So Hampton Roads Business Weekly is almost a year old, just like 1 Million Cups. And it was created by the ABC affiliate here in the market to really educate the business community. It is hosted by myself and Cheryl Tan. This is our kind of standard pose. And it's on air each and every Sunday from 9 to 9:30 on ABC. What's cool about it is we also, unlike a traditional news cast, which it is not, it is recorded so you can watch it at a later time. So it's really a piece of content that is evergreen, and so it's shot like that as well, so that you could be watching it live, or not live, you could watch it at the first play on Sunday morning, or you could watch it later that night, or weeks later. I got a message from one of the professors here who just found our YouTube page, and he said that's what he did all weekend. I said, well, that's a lot of video to be watching in a weekend, and I appreciate it. But we've been doing 30 episodes now, and the real key is to educate the business community. At the time that we first launched it, it was the first type of show in the country. There are business segments that are done by different markets, but not a specific business show that is educating and showcasing the business community locally. And so we are interviewing and doing segments on companies all the way up to Williamsburg, down to Virginia Beach, to Franklin, whatever the media market is. And so that's about 1.7 million people. And we get to do about 4 to 5 different segments each and every week. And so if you do the math, we do about 40 new episodes a year, 40 times 5 segments. That's 200 different business showcases that we didn't get to do a year ago. And so it's a really good resource for those companies, and it's a great opportunity for them to be showcased. For a company to be able to be showcased, the team of about 8 or 9 people on the show, producers, myself, Cheryl, we get together, the social media team, and we kind of collect themes. And so a theme is for six episodes in a row. And it's anything from networking to how to hire employees, how to grow your business. And so we theme those months. And then we try and find businesses that are doing that thing very well. And so I'm a firm believer that 80% of businesses are all the same. And this show is really focused on that kind of 20% of finding the oddities in those businesses and how we can kind of relay those messages to our community. 23,000 people watch it a week, which is 100,000 eyeballs a month. And so it's a really good opportunity for people to do that. Here are some of the people that have been on. Kevin was one of the first segments with Comparity. We just did Randy, who's in the back, from Tally and Twine. And we've done some by Seven Angels and a couple others. I got lucky and got to interview Damon John from Fubu and Shark Tank earlier in the year. And that was a really interesting experience. We also have a social media page that we use to promote the show and also kind of best practices that we've seen. And it's also broken up into several different clips so that you can just watch one of the segments or not. But it's a great way for us to kind of showcase a specific business in their social media as well. And it's constantly growing. I have a feeling you guys are going to have a lot of questions. The business model for the show is to be on the show, you have to be selected by Cheryl, myself, or the producer teams. And so to be able to be on the show, you have to apply on the website, and I'll show you what that website is in a minute. Or we find you and ask you to do that. And then we have a partner in Regent University, who they have a segment every single week around one of the themes that we've done. And then also the in-between commercials are kind of what a typical newscast would have. So those are kind of the ways they do it. But you do not pay necessarily to get on the show, unlike other shows. And the idea is that it's all evergreen content. Are you guys familiar with what evergreen content is? So evergreen basically means that for the most part it's going to be the same forever. And so we don't do segments on events that are coming up, because if we do that event, then it's kind of backdated and it doesn't work. And so very early on, one of the first segments we did was the inaugural EO Expo, and we learned that it was just very difficult to show that story, and then when it aired 4 months later, it just didn't make sense. The relevance isn't there. So we tend to not do events. We get a lot of pitches for events. We think they're important, so we try and kind of showcase that on our calendars and on our social media. We just don't do segments on that. We're looking for businesses as small as in the idea stage, but have actually done something, to the biggest owned local businesses as well. And so we're always looking for new segments, ideas, businesses, people that are doing really interesting things. One of the, so I'll tell you Randy's story. He got on Kickstarter and raised what, $30,000, $25,000? So most people have heard of crowdfunding, hasn't been successful, so we want to tell his story on how he's kind of come up with that type of stuff. And so happy to answer questions that you guys may have.
Cool. I'm just curious, what's the target audience?
Let's get back to that key question. What can we do for you?
Watch the show if you haven't. Always do it. Share the show. Like us on Facebook and Twitter. Fairly active there. If you want your company to be featured, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can go to this link right here. That'll give you kind of an application piece to it. Or if I don't know you, we like to take selfies. If you can email me there, and then I can start learning about you. If you email me just say put me on the show, I'm gonna say why. Why should I put you on the show? Right? Especially if you got to pitch it the right kind of way. And so, but
nobody else knows what I do. I'm unique.
And then I figured out that maybe you're not. But so it's important for us to really put that kind of curation and credibility into it, because a lot of people are watching, and if we don't do that, our due diligence on those businesses, then we look like we don't know what we're doing. And I think because we're not a daily show where we have to do this thing and have to get stuff on there, we're able to really, in a long tail format, figure out who is the best fit for those type of things. So watch it, and then give us businesses and segments.